name is Bianca and you're watching Tutors Field. Today I'm going to be taking you through 5 simple and practical tips on how to become far better at singing. Tip number 1 is as simple as it gets. Sitting or standing up straight means that when you are singing, your breathing becomes far less obstructed, and that means you'll be able to finish your phrases off far more clearly and you won't run out of breath. So a way that I like to imagine this is a string above my head that goes all the way through my body down to my toes, and it must be as straight as possible. If you crumple it, then you're crumpling your body, and that means that you're not going to be able to get as much air out. So keep that string as straight as possible and you'll be well on the road to becoming a good singer. Tip number 2 is to be aware of your vowels and your consonants. Whether you're a classical singer or you do a bit more pop, it doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to become far better at your craft. The reason I say that is because regardless of if you use those tools, you will have a far better amount of control when it comes to your singing. If you know that this part you should use more consonants and this part you should be a bit more free, then you'll be able to figure out and create more dynamics, I suppose, when it comes to getting that across. Tip number 3 is to use your belly muscles. They often say diaphragm, but it's quite a number of muscles down in your belly that help you to sing better. The reason we say use your belly muscles rather than your chest is because if you sing from your chest and you have far less room to move, you can strain your voice and therefore cause a lot of damage to it in the long run, and it's just not practical. So if you can imagine that you have a giant air pump in your belly that you are squeezing every time and it pushes air out, then you'll be able to know how to sing better in no time. So the way that I like to do that is to squeeze and to laugh, because that way you know which muscles you're using. So if you go ha, 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 you should be able to feel the muscles that we're working with. They're the same muscles you use to laugh as you use to go to the toilet, as you use to sing. So if you can use those muscles rather than your chest, you can tell when you're not moving your shoulders, then it should be far easier for you to sing in the long run. Tip number 4 is to be aware of your chest, your middle, and your head voice. So that's the 3 voices that the female voice uses, but male ones only have the chest and the middle. So they use falsetto to get into the high notes rather than our head voice. What I mean by this is the voice that you use, the place where your sound resonates the most. So if you can feel your voice in your chest, then you're using your chest voice. If it comes more naturally from your head, then you're using your head voice. And if it's coming somewhere in between and you're sort of in the middle, then you're using the middle voice. The reason why I ask you to pay attention to this is because that way you will be able to hit notes in a better manner, because that way you're not obstructed in any way. Often if you use your chest voice to approach high notes, it can be very difficult unless you adjust your voice in some way. So if you can be aware of that, that would be incredible. So the last tip is to sing with feeling. And feeling can be any kind of emotion. It doesn't have to be sadness or happiness. Excitement, passion, anger, those all help you shape the way that you come across. So if you can sing one part of the song with a little bit more legato, which means smooth and connected, then go into another part which is a bit more staccato, which is disconnected. Then that way you'll be able to show dynamics. So that's what they are. They're called dynamics. And you'll actually be able to create a story. There's some kind of flow to what you're singing, and the audience will be able to believe you far better. So those are 5 of my tips. I'm Bianca, you're watching Tutors Field, and I hope that you can come away with a lot more excitement and anticipation for singing. Thank you for watching. Bye.